get skilled up, right? Don't come with lofty expectations. Don't believe what these agents are telling you that you're in Europe, it's just I don't want to cast us, but you are in the middle. I mean, a wise man told me, so when you get to a foreign land, there are three things that are important. I think three.
Hi guys, thank you so much for watching us today. A quick message. You might be watching this but have not yet hit the subscribe button below. It will mean so much to me, to all of us, if you subscribe. The more the people watch us, the greater the guests that we'll have on this channel to inspire us with their stories and experiences. Thank you so much, and now let's dive in. Good morning, Light.
Good morning.
For the purposes of those who do not know you or those who are joining us today, could you please introduce yourself, tell us where you come from and where you are at the moment?
Hi, my name is Light Jachike. I'm from Nigeria. I'm currently in North Cyprus. First and foremost, I am Abba's favorite baby girl, like no caffeine. I am a humanitarian and also the founder of Zoe Paris Foundation. I'm an occupational therapy and about to be awarded health psychologist. I am also an entrepreneur with over 2 thriving businesses, and lastly, a fashion enthusiast. So I wear different hats depending on, the situation or platform I find myself in.
Wow, those are so many hats for sure. It's interesting, and you will tell us how you're able to manage all these things while you are still a student, right? Did I get that right?
Yes.
So tell us, how did you manage to leave Nigeria and came all the way to the Mediterranean side of the world and become a student?
So I had done a diploma, a 3-year diploma, professional diploma in occupational therapy in Nigeria. And so I knew that I wanted to further to get my bachelor's degree. So initially I was applying for India, because India is they're very good in terms of the medical, in the medical field, because of their equipment and how much the technology has evolved. So it was always India I wanted to, go to. But at the point where I already even paid school fees, I had, it was just visa. And then they placed a ban on Nigerians getting visa to India. And he was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Because this is something I've held on for 5 years that I really wanted to go for. And it was just India for me. People were like, oh, India of all courses, of all places. But I felt but I knew that it was because of, how good they were in occupational therapy. So it was at that point where I was going home and crying. I'm like, God, what am I going to do with my life? Where am I going to start from? Hey, God. So it was the girl that I was in touch with in India, Shola. She was like, oh, there's a student, there's someone also that wanted to apply also to India, and she's in Cyprus. I'm like, Cyprus? Where is Cyprus? I've never heard about Cyprus before. It's like, okay, just check it out, check the school, and then see if that's, something you want to do. That's also an option for you to further. So I went home, or if I even left it, I didn't even, I didn't take it seriously because I was still heartbroken. So it was later when I was calm, I was like, okay, let me even check this place this girl said, though. That's how I went to check Cyprus. And so there's a country like Cyprus, North Cyprus, okay. Then I checked, it was GE, Guinea American University. I saw that, okay, they do occupational therapy. I was like, okay, so I wrote to them to ask if I could do a lateral entry, to transfer my diploma so I don't have to start afresh, because that was one fear. Will I have to, after doing 3 years in Nigeria, then having to work 2 years, and I'll not start again to do So when I asked them and they said that, okay, I could further, that was how, I decided to come to North Cyprus.
Oh, that is so sweet. But I would like to know, did you get back your money from India, the deposit that you had paid?
Oh, yes, I did. They sent my money back.
Perfect. Can you imagine if you had lost it as well? That would have been very difficult.
That was years of savings and people's investment in my life. I know it would have paid me so much. But thank God they did. They sent the money because it wasn't my fault. They knew, because at that point, Nigerians and Africans in India were misbehaving. So it was a nationwide or a national policy that said deport all of them. So they were sending them back. So I didn't even get to pay visa fee. At the point where I got in, like at the gate there, they're like, what do you want? No, sorry, I'm not giving visas to Nigeria. Don't even bother. So so they knew, and I wrote back to them, and that's how they sent my money back.
So now you have your money back and you want to apply to North Cyprus. How did you get to, is there an embassy in Nigeria for North Cyprus? Did you have an agent helping you to apply to GAU, the Green American University? How did you go about this process of applying to the university?
So yes, there's an embassy in Nigeria, the Turkish embassy. So because, North Cyprus is regulated under Turkey. So we can apply from Turkey to come to North Cyprus. So so there's an embassy there. Personally for me, I did not use an agent, right? So I was in touch with the girl who my friend Shola referred me to. So before then, I'd even written to Guinea American University to ask them first if I could, further with my diploma, and they said yes. So I was already in touch with school. So all I did was to call her and, just to like get a feel of the place, to ask her, okay, how is life here? So I asked her a lot of questions. Well, how is the life here? Is it expensive? How much is accommodation? How much is feeding roughly in a month? Can I get a job? So I asked her all these questions, and then I also was doing my research, also checking online, what's, how is this place like, and also it was with that information from her, and also then the response from school that actually made me to come here.
What I like about you is the fact that you actually did the job, did the work, the dirty work, to do research, to write the university, and you had somebody to tell you information, what is going on. Many students have been conned by agents, and they have come to North Cyprus thinking they're going to Europe. Could you tell us if you have had stories like this? Somebody who was conned, somebody who came to North Cyprus thinking they're in Europe and they will have all these European privileges. Have you had stories like these?
A lot, honestly. And I know people personally. The thing is, we're actually paying for lack of knowledge or lack of the time to invest in doing your research. I thank God, like, we're in a global and digital era where everything is on Google. Like anything you want to know is literally on Google. So all you just need to do is to search. But because people are lazy, some don't even know, or you don't even want to take the time. So you're paying someone for daytime they're investing to get knowledge, get resources to know how to do it. So you're paying them for their time because you cannot do it. So there are cases like that. And I just feel like it's because people don't ask questions. They don't do their research personally. I mean, there are lots of things that we can do ourselves. So if you don't do that, then you get to be conned.
Once you got to North Cyprus, how was your experience? Was it what your friend told you? The information that your friend gave you, is it what you found when you finally got to North Cyprus?
Okay, so I've been here since 2019. She was very honest with me. She was sincere. So she told me, like, see, you know that this place is good in terms of school because you want to further. So they've given us that platform to be able to further. You don't need to do 4 years or 3 years. Within 1.5 or 2 years maximum, you can get your bachelor's degree because of the 3 years you've put in. But like, I can't promise you that you will get a job. But I know that during summer, it's open, you can get more jobs. But so she was very sincere. So I did not come with a lofty expectation that immediately I come, I will land a job, or something. I knew that, okay, it might be hard because it's an island and it's mostly tourism. So even if I get a job, it will be probably in a restaurant or kitchen work, something that different from what I'm. So I came that prepared. So, and what I did actually, because I was like, okay, in case I don't have a job or I don't get a job on time, okay, what skills can I learn in Nigeria before coming? Before then, I thought I was not a skilled person. I know how to talk, I can relate people. So I felt like I was a career lady. So it's just, career. But when I was coming, I was like, okay, this one that this girl said that I might not get a job. Okay, what skill can I learn? So I had to go online, because I did not really have that luxury of time because I was working. So I was like, okay, maybe wig making, at least I can be doing that as a business. So I learned how to make wig myself. I was practicing it with a few times. I mean, the free time I had. And yeah, that's just how I can.
Would you tell us why you thought occupational therapy was what you want to do?
Oh my God, it's a very, very long story, honestly, because as a child, all I wanted to do was medicine. You know how they say, what will you be when you grow up? I want to be a doctor. I want to be a doctor. So that was my story. Then jam happened. Jam happened. First year, put in for medicine, did not get it. Put in second year, did not get it. So funny, it was when at the third year, I was like, okay, Shebi, I'm good with computer now. I know, I'm actually, at least I know things about computer. Okay, let me put in for computer engineering or computer science. Since at least if medicine is not working, maybe that's not God's plan for my life. So that's how I was like, okay, computer engineering. I still put it. And the thing is, I was applying to one school. I always wanted to go to Uniben. So I was applying, but I did not still get it at that third year. I was frustrated. Like, I was like, what am I going to do? But so instead, I went to go and learn a skill, learn how to do web designing while waiting. So it was in my computer school. I don't know, somebody was reading the newspaper. I don't read newspapers, right? Because I just feel like they're boring or they always have bad news. So the person was reading newspaper and my eyes just saw Uniben logo. I was like, Uniben, okay, what are they saying? So I just saw that, okay, there was a school that was opening up for admission. There were different courses, all medical related. I was like, so I told my mom that, mom, see, Uniben, I didn't even know that it was different. But like, Uniben is opening up for admission. Or there are so many courses there. She was like, which one? I was like, anyone, mom. So I don't want to stay at home another year. But she's like, okay, whatever you're doing, okay, we'll go. But next year you're going to write jam again. Because it was going to be most of the degree they were awarding was diploma, ND, or HND. She was like, I don't want that for you. You have to get your bachelor's degree. I was like, yes, mom, no problem. Because you stayed home for so long. I just wanted to go into school. But I already asking, which school are you in? Which level? And you just, it was really a very trying period. So that was how I told her. Then I think the next week I traveled to Uniben. So that's when he told me, is Uniben teaching hospital? So I was like, okay. I even forgot the name of the school I saw in the newspaper. So I was like, okay, I know it's School of Health. So I'll just ask them, where is School of Health? So they directed me to my school I later went to. And then they're like, which course? I was like, I don't know, ma, which courses are okay or which courses are available? So the woman was like, okay, that's the second. She was like, because I was like, I want something that I can further with. She was like, don't go for this one. Don't go for this one. Try environmental health. Initially, I wanted to go for anesthesia since at least it's close to the doctor now. She was like, no, you cannot further. You just be stuck there. I was like, no, I want to further. She was like, okay, try environmental health. They have up to, you can get HND. I was like, HND. I said, okay, I just put it because I really didn't want to stay long again at home. So I filed in for environmental health technology. So my mom, my parents sent school fees. I did interview. I passed. And then I got admission for environmental health in Benin, UBTH. So on getting, God works in a mysterious way, honestly, because it just has to be God. So like I was about to register now in school for environmental health where I was in my auntie's office. And then now the student affairs officer happened to be my church member also. So he was in our office. I didn't know. So they were just talking. Me, I was just there pressing my phone and minding my business. Then he now mentioned that, they're about to start a new program in the school, occupational therapy. I just looked up. In my head, all I heard was therapy. I was like, this is close to, medicine. So I'm like, what's that? My auntie said, in fact, she gave me very wrong information about what OT was. So I just went to Google to ask, what is occupational therapy? So I read, I was like, so there's a profession like this in this world. I'm like, what do they do? When I saw it, I was like, oh my God, so there's a profession that is beyond medicine. It's not just only about medicine. And I fell in love with occupational therapy. I remember calling my mom, saying, Mommy, I'm changing my course. Because I asked the man, can I change my course? He was like, have you registered? I said, no. He said, okay. He was going to help me change, but I had to vet it with my parents. I'm like, Mom, see, I'm changing my course. So they're doing occupational therapy. Is this, da, 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 da. In fact, she was not really interested. She just said, whatever you're doing, just know that next year you're writing jam and you are leaving that place. I said, okay, man, no problem. So that was how he helped me. And I changed to occupational therapy. It was even funny enough, it was a new program because they had not started it. So I was among the first set. I went to go, I remember, I disturbed Mr. Tayo, the HOD then of and the course coordinator of occupational therapy, Vinny. I remember going to meet to say, what's this course about? He was showing me around the places. There were things I really could not fathom, but it seemed like a very interesting profession. We're wearing lab coats, so at least, you could be like a doctor. And, starting the program, oh my God, I fell in love because I found purpose actually with occupational therapy, because I realized that I could help people with disabilities. Like, it wasn't something I would have dreamed about or something I would have actually thought that I would do in my life, but I found purpose with occupational therapy, that I could help people, with disabilities be functional, be independent. That was huge. So that was how I landed in occupational therapy.
Oh, that is a beautiful story. Your story is, your whole experience is just filled with favors, and I don't know, it's so beautiful. The favor from God, getting
My
money
life-
back. Yeah.
I planned it, to be honest. Like, I was funny enough, I was going through a journal, my diary, where I had written down my plans for my life. I was like, well, I'm going to, in 2019, I'm going to be this. I just realized that my life never went down the way I wrote those plans. Like, I'm actually right at the center of God's will for my life. And I could only just say that, it's God that has been orchestrating my steps and all the decisions to bring me where He wants me to be.
So beautiful. We are really grateful for you and happy. Tell us, what did your mom say the next year? I mean, did you still have to write the JAM exam?
Honestly, the story I'm about to say, she doesn't know it because I never told her what I did. So already, I wrote the JAM, honestly. But because I've already done 1 year and I was already seeing potentials with occupational therapy, like I studied the course, I'd fallen in love with it. I mean, the only problem was it was not at the bachelor's level, but like we're doing practicals. I didn't want to leave at that point because I felt like, okay, my mom was like, okay, why don't you go and apply? Because there was a university in Ife that was going, but it's called medical rehabilitation, where in your second year, you now choose between physiotherapy and occupational therapy. So that was the plan, to go to Ife, since this is what I want to do. But I got to Ife. Funny enough, I wrote JAM. I went for the post-UTME, right? Do you know that I actually never checked the results? Because I didn't want a situation where if I check it now and I now pass, and then my mom will now say, I'll be going, like, you have to leave. So I never checked it. Mom, see, I know you're going to watch this. I'm sorry in advance. But I didn't check that result. But I told her that, and this is the result. I just came up with a very long story that just made me feel like I did not get the admission because I never checked. I didn't want to leave. So my mom, in case you're seeing it, I'm sorry. But I never did so because I just wanted to stay in Liberty to get the practical knowledge. So yeah, that's how that happened.
I'm sure she's happy for you. I mean, you're doing great in North Cyprus, so I don't think she'll be disappointed. So no. You have done 3 years in Nigeria. You have applied to Guinea American University. Have they accepted you to come and transfer? And how many years do you do in Guinea American University to get your bachelor degree?
So here the education system here is very flexible. So, but you can do within 1.5 years to 2 years. I came 2019 and I finished 2020. So I ended up doing. So I would have done 4 semesters, right? Normally, so that would have been probably finishing maybe 2021, the next year. But I did summer school because I just wanted to finish it quickly. So that made me finish faster than other people. So it's that flexible. So within 1.5 years to 2 years, you can get your bachelor's degree in occupational therapy.
Yeah, the secret is always in the summer school. So if you want to do less than the normal time that is given.
Expensive because they'll charge you. It's more expensive, but yeah, if you have it, you can do it.
So you get your bachelor degree. Did you further to do master's degree, and what did you further in?
So when I finished, so the plan was, so now it was not like, what next, where next? Am I leaving the island? Am I going somewhere else? So I really wanted to do my master's in occupational therapy also, but here in Cyprus, we don't have that option. I actually applied to the UK. This series of interviews, I passed it, right? I got admission now to do my master's in the UK, but I don't know. I didn't feel the leading at that point to leave yet. I just felt like it wasn't time, and so I declined the admission. And then another thing I was putting in my head was like, it's very expensive. UK is very expensive, so I actually didn't push through. So instead, I was now looking for, okay, what program is close to occupational therapy? So I asked a lot of questions. I remember asking my mentor, Mr. Tayo, okay, I mean, these are the options that JU have: social psychology, health psychology. So I just asked him, okay, which one do you think is closer to occupational therapy that in the long run, for me to practice, it will not be a problem. So it was like, okay, health psychology seems very close, to what you're doing. So you can go with that. So that was how I registered for health psychology in JU also.
And what year are you? Are you finishing? Are you writing your thesis?
Yes. My thesis has been approved and I'm graduating. I rounded up my program, so I'll be graduating in June.
Oh, congratulations. I'm so happy for you. What are your plans once you graduate? Are you staying and working in TRNC? Are you moving back to Nigeria or to another country?
So I'm funny enough, I'm still praying about it, and I am asking God what next, honestly, because I actually don't want to jump ahead of myself or just take a decision without His leading. So it'll be clear soon, and then I would know if I am staying here eventually or if I'll have to, move.
Understandably so. So it's nice. It's good to wait, of course, and to pray. Did you ever get to do some kind of job outside of just being a student? And where did you work?
So when I came here, I started looking for a job. It was a trying period. Like, getting a job was actually so hard. There was no place I did not go to. And all the things they kept saying was, can you speak Turkish? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, can I speak Turkish to mop the floor? Can I speak Turkish to wash toilets? Can I speak Turkish to wash plates? What do I need the language for? And that was the excuse, maybe not excuse, but that was what they kept telling me. Can you speak Turkish? Can you speak Turkish? I'm like, no, I cannot speak Turkish, but I want to wash plates. We're using translator. So I didn't get a job. I went everywhere. Oh. So eventually, I think that was like just 6 months. I think within 6 months when I came, I actually then got a job here on the island. So yeah, I eventually got a job that I did for, I think, a year plus. Eventually, before I left. So we were, so my job description. So what we do, we were to deliver breads to from Kozan to different places here on the island. They were to deliver breads to the hotel, Merit hotels and other hotels here. So yeah, that was my job.
Oh, good. It's not so hectic. I mean, it's not very tedious.
To be honest, it wasn't all that tedious, right? Except probably documentation and having to relate with people because they are mostly Turkish. So at some point I had to start learning the basic Turkish so that at least I could communicate with them. So yeah, aside that, it was to be honest, it was fair.
So my next question was actually to ask if you eventually learned Turkish, but you said you had to learn basic Turkish for you to relate with other people. So that's good.
I learned Turkish, and I even had to take classes to learn Turkish. But I stopped at some point also.
In the last 2 years, many students have been caught up in illegal activities, drug dealing, prostitution. If we may not want to talk about it, but it's happening. So why do you think this is happening?
I would say it's a choice and also pressure, right? And when I say it's a choice, because we all have a choice. We have a choice to choose what we really want to do. And I said pressure because pressure for finances, to be honest, it's not an easy journey, right? Where some people are actually faring for themselves, paying their school fees, paying their bills themselves, because converting naira or the different currencies in Africa and then converting it to here, your school fees is in dollars or euro. Your house rent is in pounds, right? Then shopping or market is in Turkish lira. And then if you get a job, you're being paid in Turkish lira, and the Turkish lira is reducing. So there are all these pressures, and then sometimes you might not even be able to meet up because now the landlords, they keep increasing the rent. So there is that pressure for finances. But still, there is still a choice because we have a choice, right? And it depends on your value system. I don't even want to go in. I'm not even criticizing anybody. I'm not condemning this. It's not my place. But I believe that we have a choice. Should you decide to go into drugs? Should you decide to go into prostitution? Should you decide to go into Yahoo? It's because you had a choice. I've had to talk to people who were in it. And to be honest, you would see reasons with them. It's most people did not want to because they just wanted to, right? But because of that financial pressure, some did it because their friends and people are also doing it and living the big life, so they also want to live it. That peer pressure is there. I keep saying we have a choice because I have seen people make it legitimately. It's just that we're in a fast-paced world where my generation, we're in a hurry to make it. We see all these actors, actresses, or people living the life on Instagram or social media, and we want to be among people who had to go through different levels in life. But what you are seeing now is the result. So I am here, I've not even put in the work, but I want to get to where that person is already. So we're in a fast pace, so I don't want to wait. We don't want to wait to put in the work. And so you just want to, and then you just speak the wrong things to do. Why? Because you want to feel among. So there is still a choice at the end of the day, because to be honest, there are people who have decided to put in the work. Whether it takes time or it doesn't take time, I will do the right thing. And you see the result, they're making it.
What advice would you have for students coming to North Cyprus? They're just applying for their visa from Africa, or those who just landed in North Cyprus.
Get skilled up. Get skilled up, right? Don't come with lofty expectations. Don't believe what these agents are telling you that you're in Europe. It's just, I don't want to cast us, but you are in the middle. Yeah, in the middle. You don't belong to Europe, and you belong to Europe. You're just in the middle. So do your homework well. Do your research properly, right? It's an island. Right. And most of the jobs you see here are probably into real estate if you get to pair yourself up with the ones doing real estate, or restaurant jobs. Or so coming here with the expectation that you're going to land one serious job that will be giving you some. Is this possible? Because Trnc is opening up now more because of more students and people coming in. But do your homework well and then get skilled up. There are so many skills that you can learn as a backup plan. In case I don't get a job, okay, what can I do legitimately with my hands that can bring me at least money that can pay the bills for the meantime or in the long run eventually? So there's so many skills available that, one can learn.
And would you say that Turkish, learning the language, is important for the new students?
Oh, it is. It is. A wise man told me, so when you get to a foreign land, there are three things that are important. I think 3 or 2 he said, but let me see if I can remember. But he said, 1, learn the language. 2, get a driving license. And what was the third one? Yeah, open a bank account. Right? These are important things. So yes, learn the language because you'll be here. Honestly, from what I've seen, and at least the people I've related with, if I even just speak small Turkish, they're so interested, like, wow, oh my God, you can speak my language. Like when we were doing so during COVID, when we were sharing most of the relief material, people who did not have food, right? And we got to we got to the Ministry of it's not Interior. I think the ministry responsible for this, giving out food and everything. And then, so one thing he asked, so can you speak the language? I was like, oh, not really, just a little. And he was like, see, let me give you a secret. He said, the thing is, people come to us and tell us people have these needs, you have this problem, you have, but the truth of the matter is, if you can speak this language and you come with us with that, we understand that you have chosen to be part of us. And we see that, okay, this students want to be part of us, want to understand our lifestyle or how we behave or how we think. It gives them a sense of community, and then they're able to relate with us better. When he said that thing to me, I was like, wow, what have I now been doing? And it was at that point that I went to, enroll to learn Turkey, because you would have more access to opportunities if you can speak their language. You get favor. See, information is on the street, but you would not know if you don't relate with the people.
That's true. How do you cope with missing your people back at home?
Oh, it's initially it was so hard, because having to be away from them for, when you know that you can't just take a bus or just go and see your parents or your family members. It was difficult, but I thank God for community. One thing God has blessed me with here was a great support system, friends that turned to family. And that really just helped to make life here so easy, and these are not just any people, these are people that have become a part of your life, who genuinely love you and love me because you're asking me, and just, want to see just say about your welfare. And so I really thank God. So having that kind of great support system here really just makes living here easy, better, and something to look forward to every day.
What you have reminded me, or what one wise man said, if you speak in a foreign language, you speak to their mind. If you speak in their language, you speak to their heart. So it's beautiful. If you go to a foreign country, learn their language, at least in some of their culture, you speak to their heart and you work together. And that gets us to the end of the show for today. And thank you so much for spending time and sparing time with us and telling us how you found yourself in TRNC all the way from Nigeria, and you're thriving in TRNC, and it gives us hope. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me again, Molly. It's really a privilege. I don't take it for granted. And I'm actually happy to be here and at least share my wealth of knowledge with other people. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much for your support so far. We don't take it for granted. We appreciate you. Click the subscribe button below and let us grow together. Thank you. Ciao.